I'm going to help you all relive a couple of nightmares today by talking about the 4 most annoying things that happen in NBA 2K. 4 things that happens to all of us and that 2K players just absolutely hate. This list could definitely be longer than 4, but when I thought about this video idea, these are just the 4 that came immediately to mind, so I know that they're very annoying. And they're also universal across the 2Ks. I didn't want to pick stuff that just happens in NBA 2K19. I'm talking about stuff that has been happening in every 2K, so you're going to recognize these problems from years and years back. So this first one is very subtle, but I know it's happened to a lot of us, and the funny thing is, it's not even 2K's fault, it's really our fault for not being attentive enough. Anyways, it's when you get a turnover right after your coach makes a substitution, and this happens because a player will come in, but he's not assigned to the button that he's regularly assigned to. So just take for example, I play a lot with the Lakers these days, and Jerry West almost always plays point guard. Therefore, I'm always used to pressing X to pass to him. And this doesn't really happen with the Lakers, but as a hypothetical, maybe the coach subs him in like the second quarter or third quarter, but he subs him in as a shooting guard. So on that very first play after the sub, when I'm in the pace of the game and I'm not pressing the R1 button constantly, I don't notice that Jerry West is not playing the point guard position. So he'll be wide open for a pass, but his dialogue button will be circle, and I'll end up pressing X. And that nearly always causes an infuriating turnover, because the player that you're passing to, you don't even have any clue where he is. And most of the time he's like cutting into the paint, or he's surrounded by like 2 or 3 defenders. There's defenders all in his passing lane. So now you're just sitting there looking stupid because that really wasn't the computer's fault. So then after that happens, for me, I get very attentive to what buttons are assigned to what players. And then I tap R1 just really quickly before every play sets up so I know who I'm passing to. Now, this next one will piss you off, and this one is not really your fault. It's the bad animations that happen as the shot clock is winding down. We all run into possessions where maybe we didn't make the pass we were supposed to, or we're being well defended. So now you're coming down to about 7 or 6 seconds left on the shot clock, and you're passing the ball around the court looking for somebody who has an angle. And this happens mostly when you pass into the paint, but you'll give it to a guy, and as the clock is winding down, he gets stuck in some kind of animation. Maybe he's fighting for the ball or he didn't catch it quite right. And you're now stuck in this animation as the clock is winding down to 0 and you can't even flip a shot up. The one that you see on your screen is the only one that I had actually bookmarked or time marked, so it's the only one I could immediately find. And this is partly my fault for not going for the first shot. I think I was anticipating a block here from Jeff Green. I don't really know why I stopped. And I don't know why I entered the post either. But as you see right here, he ran into Jeff Green and then he got stuck in this animation where he starts dribbling away, and I did not get the shot off. I have much worse than that stored away in all these hundreds of games that I have recorded. I just can't find them, they're not time marked. But you get the idea. Terrible animations at the end of the shot clock, infuriating turnovers. This next one has been happening to you and you've been wondering why your fast break defense is so bad, and it's actually because bad animations on the fast break. Have you ever noticed in 2K that after you score, or in times where you just don't even notice, you don't have an explanation for why, but all of a sudden your opponent has inbounded the ball and he has someone streaking all the way down the court and you have no clue why your team wasn't matched up? It really wasn't your fault. So take this one for instance that I actually did luckily have time marked. I'm playing as the LA Lakers, then I get a good layup with Rondo. He was playing terrible defense, but look at LeBron James. He's twirling around in this dumb animation and he's let Kawhi Leonard streak straight to the basket. This is what's so difficult. This is one of the most difficult aspects about 2K, is that you can't be all 5 players at the same time. I'm still Rajon Rondo and I don't want him to get a head start with Van Vliet, and he actually threw a bad pass there I could have stolen, but as you can see here, slow it down. After Rondo scored, LeBron James is in this horrible animation where he's just celebrating, turned around, and Kawhi Leonard is all the way there at the basket already. This happens so much in 2K, and as a matter of fact, this happens a lot at the end of games. I don't know if you notice, and I'll try to find this up. I don't have anything like actually marked up with a time marker, but I'll look for a clutch situation where a player will hit a basket with like a minute and 10 seconds left in a close game, and all 5 players on the floor enter celebrations. They start pointing at the crowd, they start walking around, they start celebrating. Meanwhile, the other guy's offense is setting up. They don't even see it. It's like they're all robots. And next thing you know, you've given up 2 points in a clutch game because you had 4 or 5 guys celebrating in the middle of a clutch play. Or in the middle of crunch time rather. Honestly, this one is very inexcusable on 2K's part. There should be no circumstance in which you lose a game because your player started celebrating in the middle of crunch time and you couldn't get back on defense. Yet that's something that's been happening in 2K for years now. I can't believe that. This one I actually am gonna throw in, and it's specific to NBA 2K19. I was trying to stay away from it, but this just hit me while I was recording. The defense in this game, specifically your defensive computers, they foul entirely too much and they reach in specifically way too much. So you could be playing on-ball defense on the ball handler, and then he could get close to another one of his players, and then what'll happen is the defender closest to you will step in and he'll reach in and he'll get a foul. And you didn't ask for the double team, like you didn't ask for his help, but he steps in and he reaches for no reason. That happens entirely too much. The computer reach-in rate, it's like they're trying to simulate some of these square spammers out here. That leads to an absurd amount of fouls that really weren't your fault. It breaks the rhythm of the game and it just frustrates you. This last one, and this actually turned into 5. I said 4 at the beginning, but it turned into 5. This last one happens in every single 2K. It's been happening, I don't remember when this started because I remember it always happening. And it's when a player is wide open and he cuts into the defense. That is on the top 5 all-time list of things that have angered me in 2K, violently angered me. This mostly happens in fast breaks, but it can happen really in any set. But I will really notice on fast breaks is that I'll be running down the middle of the floor and I'll have a 3-point shooter on the side. He's headed to the wing, or the very corner is where he's headed. So I'm about to hit him in the corner for a wide open 3 because he's drawing his defense in. And the minute I bring up this dialog box to pass to him, he takes off full speed down to the middle where all the defenders are. I can't explain why that is stuck in 2K for so long. You don't cut towards the defense. Unless the defense is collapsing or they're rotating towards you, you don't cut. Especially not that far away when you're in a prime spot for a 3-pointer. That's a turnover every time because then the player has just ran straight into the direction of a passing lane that is already covered. Doesn't happen in half-court offenses much, but it does happen in certain situations. Maybe you're coming off of a pick and roll and the defense is rotating, and then you notice one of the defenders has rotated off a shooter, and then you try to hit him and he'll start cutting as soon as you do that. Sometimes it feels like 2K is just trying to throw you off your game on purpose. And actually, I apologize because that wasn't the last one. We're now up to 6 because another really annoying one just hit me and I can't let this slide. I swear I've heard that they fixed this problem, like when one of the new 2Ks was coming out, or maybe they do this for all of them where they say that they're gonna focus on directional passing, or that they focused on fixing that. For whatever reason, directional passing has been so bad in 2K for so long. You don't know how many plays where I'm trying to pass to a certain person and it just goes across the court and ends up a turnover, or my player catches it but the developing play that I had doesn't work because I was about to hit somebody who was in a good spot but they threw it elsewhere. This happens a lot of the times when you're not using the R1 button to quick select who you want to pass to, but sometimes you see something developing that's happening faster than you want to press the R1 button. So like maybe this is when a player is cutting to the basket and he's actually open for once, or you're just running a play and then it most of the time for me it involves a big man posting up. And so I'm trying to directional pass it, I'm doing bounce passes across the floor, and as soon as I'm about to get it to the person wherever he is in his spot, it just goes elsewhere. And to directional pass, they have the icon, right? There's like an icon that appears under their foot, that little transparent circle. It appears under their foot, and for some reason it'll just slip at the last second and it'll go somewhere else. So that's annoying in both scenarios. That's annoying whether it causes a turnover or it just destroys a beautiful play that you had set up. But either way, that has been a problem in 2K for a long time, and in 2K19 it really hasn't gotten that much better. I still drop a lot of passes. If I'm not using the R1 button to pass, it's really hard to get a quick setup because you have no guarantee the pass is going where you want it. Anyways, those are actually 5 annoying things and 5 things that we really hate in NBA 2K that have been happening for years now, except for the 2K19 issue. That's just a small list and I am leaving this out to the world, so I know for a fact there's way more than 5, so let me know the most annoying things that have happened to you in this game. NBA 2K in general, not just 19. Make sure to hit the like button, comment, and sub if you enjoyed, and hit the bell next to my name if you want notifications on future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.